You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're going to be joined in the studio. We're talking all about home improvement. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. If the both of you could introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves, that would be really great to start us off with.
Yes, good morning. My name's Andrew Weiss. I'm chairman of the British Home Enhancement Trade Association, which is a trade association that looks after DIY and homewares and generally anything to do with home enhancement. And I spent a lifetime in the DIY and home improvement sector, both manufacturing products, but also running a retail store selling products.
So good morning, my name's Will Jones. I also work for Beta, and I'm a sector director, so I'm responsible for the sort of housewares DIY area. And basically my role involves sort of getting involved with our members, who in the main are manufacturers and suppliers to the industry.
I was hoping you could tell us a little bit more about what the research has shown about home improvement across the generations.
Yes, well, we conducted some research amongst over 2,000 adults just to sort of find out the state of home improvement DIY at the moment, and it's quite very interesting. Nearly 40% of 18 to 34-year-olds have little or no idea where to start when tackling a DIY project. Most of them will flock to the internet for information, but there is very little information out there for them to grab. Some 30% of millennials admitted to performing a DIY task once a year, but when we talked about those tasks, that task could be something as simple as changing a light bulb, which would hardly be considered a difficult task.
Well, it seems that people are not always doing home improvement themselves.
Yeah, the research, again, was very thorough, and it's interesting that it came up with over a third of people simply lacking knowledge, skills, and certainly on the younger generation, 40% actually lacking the confidence to quite simply have a go. I mean, if you look at the research from your own sort of region there, we were looking at a national average of around 39%, with about 42% not prepared to sort of, or only undertaking home improvements once a year.
So, obviously, some of these skills could be lost. So, I assume it's important that skills like that are preserved.
Well, it's very important. Just to take the UK DIY market as a unit, it's worth around 22 billion annually of consumer purchases. The industry employs over 50,000 people. It's the fifth largest in the world. Home ownership is a key driver of DIY purchases, and at 64%, we have one of the highest home ownership percentages in the world. DIY expenditure per capita is around 330 per head. We've got something like over 7,000 DIY stores, large and small, across the country. So it's an important industry, and then keeping our housing stock at quality levels is very important. Improving energy efficiency, making our homes more comfortable, which is one of the key drivers of why people do DIY in our research, and are all benefits of a strong DIY market, and we need to keep that going.
So tell us a bit more about Home Improvement Week and what prompted you to start it.
It was really an industry initiative. There was recognition that really, in particular, the younger generation didn't really have the sort of confidence or skills to really undertake these sort of simple home improvement tasks. And it was felt that we needed a campaign to, provide some inspirational and simple education, and quite simply to persuade younger generation to just have a go.
So what home improvements are sort of most popular?
Well, conducting our research, hanging pictures was absolutely the number one, and then more difficult. It's a pretty easy project. Putting up shelves came very high. Decorating a room, assembling flat pack furniture were all sort of quite high up on the sort of easy to do and easy to tackle responses. More difficult were things like sort of redesigning a garden, tiling a room, that sort of thing. Is much more of an ambitious project. But over 80% of adults in the UK own either a hammer, a screwdriver, a saw, or a paintbrush. So there's the will to do it out there.
And I suppose it's important to start off with something simple and not take on a massive job and find you can't do it, and that's going to discourage you from doing it in the future.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's exactly it. I mean, if you look back at the research, 25% of people are unhappy with the sort of general decoration in their home. What that means is either there's a crack or a mark. Well, you could hang a picture over it if you don't feel sort of having a go in terms of putting in filler and doing a complete redeck job. Or if it's simple things like scuff marks or dirt marks on the side of the wall, just do a simple decorating job. And it's interesting how certainly a lot of the younger generation, they're very inspired by the website for ideas. So if you're on the website, they then quickly go to how-to videos. And the industry is really full of some great brands with some great videos, making it very simple for them. It's simply about them just having a go, getting that confidence level up.
Is there anything else you'd like to cover or get over to our listeners, or even where they can find out more information?
Well, we would encourage people to have a go during the campaign period, which is March the 12th to the 18th. But it doesn't end there, because there's the busy period up to Easter, which is a key time for people to either improve within the home or get out in the garden and have a go. But if you want inspiration, go to our site, homeimprovementweek.co.uk. There'll be a host of useful information and links to our partners and how-to videos, as Will's already mentioned.
Well,
get out there and have a go.
Well, yeah, it certainly inspires you. I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to us here at BRFM Bridge Radio on the Daniel Monday Night Community Show.
Thank you very much, and simply remember, love the home you live in. Go for it.